We've been talking for a long time about the home affordability crisis in America. And we've had a bunch of like different statistics around it and whatnot. We really just want to zero in on this idea of, does this thing have the potential to crater the rental market, right? If nobody can afford houses and we're just sitting here holding houses, is that a potential risk to us given what prices have done recently?
Yeah, I think it's really scary, but I think it's really scary when we think about home price affordability. And so, when you're really scared, we have to dig deeper. We have to bring data, we have to bring perspective to it, because if
Yep.
all we do is just live in this fear, we can jump to improper conclusions, which can have adverse effects on you and your financial wealth. So, what I want to do today is to kind of break down the different elements of this and add some data, add some perspective so that we can have our not your average investor take. But let's just kind of lean into what we know to be true, even without data and perspective. We know home prices went up a ton. We know rents went up a ton. We know that interest rates went up a ton. And we know that inflation overall went up a ton.
Yep.
And so we know we live in this place as a country right now where things are unaffordable to the level that we have just never experienced before. And so that's very real. It's important to recognize, though, that this isn't the same challenge across the country for every individual city. There are some cities that have been dealing with affordability challenges for decades.
Yep.
And people continue to still live there and move there and enjoy it there.
New York comes to mind.
New York, right?
Yeah.
And then there are others that are just experiencing it pretty recently, but it's a big challenge. And then there's others that
Miami comes to mind.
Right, there we go. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And then there are other cities that, have been sort of under the radar for a little while, have certainly had a lower cost of living, and they are much better positioned to handle this challenge. Jacksonville would be one of those cities. But you start to think about, after we've kind of like all taken the sucker punch of affordability overall being a challenge,
Yeah.
you start to like break down and say, okay, well, how am I gonna overcome this,
Yep.
right? How do cities overcome this? How does our country overcome this?
Yep.
And the best way to overcome this is to focus on initiatives that increase median income. Because when median incomes go up, things can still go up in price, but you can afford them. People have more take-home pay.
Yep.
I've done a lot of speaking in a lot of rooms in a lot of places in the country and whatnot. And when we talk about median incomes going up, I have never seen somebody have a frown.
Yeah.
Right. When we rally, it is something that we all can win, and median incomes being high is the reason that people still love to live in New York, even though there's a home price affordability challenge there.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
So, prices and rents going up are one thing, but if we can come up with strategies and we can live in places where median incomes are going up, it's okay.
Yep.
It can actually be healthy and thriving, because when median incomes go up and rents go up and home prices go up, quality of life in that city goes up too. And so, we tend to only think about one side of this, which home prices, interest rates, rents going up, and we just think it will never, ever become affordable again.
Yeah.
But there are a number of factors that actually can lead to increased affordability, median incomes being one of them. And you think about the initiatives that drive JWB. We want to be an impact in our city.
Yep.
And if you boil it down, we want to be an impact in our city so that we can help raise median incomes.
I love it, man.
And median incomes raising increases the quality of life. That's obviously a big part of our downtown initiative. So I think we need to also focus on the positive ways to help this country get out of it. And city by city is a different story.
Yeah, totally.